Back with more Fear the Walking Dead. This is episode 12, I think, of season 5. This season really is going so quickly. It's kind of insane. Although maybe that's just because it took me ages to watch the previous seasons. Because there's obviously a lot more structure when I watch it weekly, but maybe that's it. But either way, very excited to see how they're going to continue the second half of the season. You know, last episode we kind of got some focus on Alicia and that Wes guy, and he was the one doing the paintings on the trees, which I called. I was very happy about that. And Alicia seemed to like move past the whole not being able to kill anything phase, which I'm very glad about. And yeah, I am intrigued as to what's going to happen next, because we had the whole thing with Logan, and I'm just so tired of him. He sucks. Can't wait to see him die. He better fucking die. Don't like spare him at the last second because he's going to change his ways or anything. No, just cut his head off. Yeah, I am intrigued as to what's going to happen next, because I feel like we need some big kind of event to happen as we like head towards the end of the season. You know, we need some, you know, movement. I know a lot of people have found this season very slow, and they feel like not a lot's happened, and I can understand that. And while I have actually really enjoyed the season quite a bit, it has mainly been for the character stuff than the actual plot. I do have to admit that, because I don't give a shit about where the oil is. I don't particularly give a shit about the tapes. Sorry, Althea, I know you would kill me. And yeah, I would like to see maybe a bit more pace and some big events to happen. Not necessarily deaths. I really don't care that, you know, we haven't like lost any major characters so far this season. I don't think you need to have like a shock death or keep killing people off to tell a good story. But you do need to keep people engaged somehow, and clearly this season has lost a few people. Luckily not me, I'm still quite enjoying it, but I do feel like there needs to be something quite juicy, I think, very soon. Will this be the episode that gives us that? I don't know, but I am intrigued as to what's going to happen next, so let's get into it. Somebody once told me... That guy reminds me of Monk. Does anyone remember that TV show, Monk, the detective show? Oh!
Hey.
Oh.
Seems God needs new batteries. So, why don't we get you something to eat?
Yeah, can God do something about all the dead people rising? Well, it looks like Charlie's been through some shit. Like, killing off my favourite character. I've like 95% forgiven her. 90%. Like a watermelon. Oh, well. I think he got it, guys. So if they're all going to get blood on their ties from that now, and it'll be like... Bad guys can just like follow the trail of blood to wherever they drive to.
Locked up tighter than the fireman's sphincter on the 4th of July.
We're running around. Of course, I've only set up camp yesterday.
No, everyone was accounted for when we packed up.
Look, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh dear.
Someone's missing.
Charlie.
Who?
Still not used to Dwight without the beard. Wasted opportunity to not call this episode Good Luck, Charlie. Gough. Good old days of Disney.
Do you answer every question with a question?
Do I? In 2 minutes, you figured out the secret it took me.
I like this guy, which probably means he's going to be dead in about 20 minutes.
I used to talk to my congregation about a thing called Tahiyat Hametim, that the souls of the dead would rise and be reunited with their bodies at the end of this world.
Well,
I suppose I got it half right.
Do you do a Gabriel and knock them all out?
No. This is the last battery.
Of course it is.
I'm so sorry this happened. We thought everyone was accounted for when we left last night.
It's not your fault.
It's like
Joe.
fucking Home
You
Alone.
didn't leave without me. I just wanted to find some place that we could settle down. I checked some places last night.
I mean,
None of
not
them
the
are
best
right.
idea on your own, but okay.
Now?
If Logan fucking shows up here first, I'm gonna lose my shit. What on earth? So he's the opposite of Gabriel. He's locked them all in. Are these all his congregation?
That should do it.
I can't tell you.
Oh my god. John is so wholesome.
How do I look? Goyish. Kind of like the Pope. Oh, but not bad.
I guess John just has a thing with hats.
Going out on a run and not even knowing if your home is still gonna be there when you get back. I've lived like that before, June. We both have.
Oh, that's
I
true.
don't want to go back to that.
That's not bad.
Seriously? I think Dan the man might have nicked your taste buds when he was trimming up your face pubes.
Oh my god. I already love this duo. It's been 10 seconds.
They're just wandering, you know, there's a life on the road forever. They found us.
Oh, good.
So we could stay and live with you and help make sure the lamp always stays lit.
I appreciate everything you've done for
Oh
me,
boy.
really. But I think you should probably...
Oh dear.
She's making radio sound.
If anyone's going to hold on to hope, it would be Charlie, you know. She's still very young.
What's wrong?
Shit.
Get back inside.
I don't understand. Did we do something? How did they get in here?
They're not here because of you. They're here because of me.
What are you talking about? Who are they?
My congregation.
Yeah.
When I came back,
You found them like this?
People say religion might turn you into a mindless zombie.
Sorry.
I got an idea.
Well, certainly an idea. John, you survived getting shot. Do not get eaten climbing down a fucking ladder. Oh man. This is where I'd be fucked.
Who the hell is this?
Ask your co-pilot. He'll tell you. Should have taken the shot when he had the chance.
Oh, you
You know this dick?
motherfucker.
I don't.
This is why you should kill people. Thank God they had all these cars spaced out at regular intervals. Something's gonna happen. The one time June goes first. Whoopsie. Well,
How'd you know this was gonna happen? No, I can't use bullets. None on them. Sorry.
No, Charlie, I don't think there's
but they're not your people anymore.
I should never have told you that.
Why?
Because I don't believe it.
I don't understand.
I don't believe in God. I haven't in a long time.
Oh shit.
Is it because of what happened to them?
One of my comments at the end of this was going to be, I really liked that he held onto his faith.
Already locked inside that building.
Oh.
Whatever happened to them while I was gone, it wasn't pleasant.
That doesn't mean...
It does. I'm alive because I left. I'm alive because I
So
didn't
he
believe
didn't
in
lock
God.
them in, that's
If that
interesting.
isn't a clear message.
I mean, I can understand Tuckett being like tired of running all the time. I do think it's interesting that walkers will like go towards noise almost as a preference to flesh.
Charlie!
I mean, I know they can see that Charlie's there, but it literally has two meat sacks right there. That's a cool shot. Oh, they brought him a pretty shit battery, didn't they?
Tank's not connected.
Good.
We go down with the ship. Even if we end up crispy critters.
It's been fun riding with you.
Aww.
You too, baby face.
Sarah's actually one of my favourites. I actually adore her.
Oh, where the hell are they going?
I'm surprised at how little I care.
I'm gonna start looking again for what I need to find. And I won't stop till I find it.
Well, we got gas.
Don't stop
As much as we need.
believing.
We'll find the place we're meant to be.
Yeah, we will.
Hopefully not a grave, eh?
I make my own wine.
My kind of rabbi.
Come on.
I mean, these guys, they don't do anything by accident.
What's amazing is Logan is desperately trying to find gas, but his vehicles had more than fucking they did just then. Ugh. Speak of the prick.
Go for Desert Fox.
Oh no, not the tapes.
We're about to buy ourselves a ticket to the promised land.
I actually quite enjoyed that episode. I thought it was really enjoyable. Again, more so for like the characters, I think, than like the actual plot. But I still got a lot of enjoyment out of the episode overall. I really liked Jacob, the rabbi. I'm glad he seems to be sticking with like the group and maybe joining them now, because I don't know, there's just something about him I found really endearing. I mean, I was going to say I found it quite endearing that after all this time he still held on to his faith. Then he said, "Oh, I stopped believing." But then he seems to be wanting to believe again at the end. So I suppose I can still kind of make the point. So I do like the idea that, you know, so many things may change in an event like a zombie apocalypse. Not that we can really relate to that in real life, even if it does feel like the end of the world, basically. But, you know, no matter how much more change, I do like the fact that people can still hold on to like their faith and their belief and their religions, stuff like that. I mean, I'm not religious myself at all, but I can imagine a lot of people would have to rely on their faith if something like this would happen in the real world, you know? So I did like them kind of exploring that. And yeah, the introduction of Jacob I really liked, and I hope he sticks around for a while. You know, him just talking even very briefly with Sarah, you know, he seems to get along very well with people. I really liked the relationship between him and Charlie. And I thought he had quite an interesting backstory as well. When we kind of, initially you might have thought they were sort of going down the opposite of a Father Gabriel route, and he locked all his, you know, all his people in that place after they died, maybe not before. But then we got the reveal that that wasn't him who kind of had anything to do with that. So maybe they were all alive when they got locked in there and they just all died that way. I mean, that would probably be what happened, because it would probably be a lot harder to herd all the walkers in there and lock them up. Although they basically did that in this episode with that place, didn't they? So maybe not. But I thought he had a really interesting kind of backstory. I really liked the actor. I thought, you know, he played that part really, really well, and I hope we get to see a lot more of him, because he was a lot of fun, and a really, really interesting character just from the off. He just left a really good first impression on me. I don't know exactly why, but I'm glad he seems to be sticking around. I really, really liked him, and his relationship with Charlie in particular, because it was cool to have some focus on her in this episode, and again, kind of, she was holding on to faith and a belief again, but you know, not in a religious way. Until she stumbled across Jacob, of course. And I think it makes a lot of sense that she'd be tired of, you know, just constantly being on the move and not really having like a proper home, nowhere to just absolutely settle down. And of course you're going to believe in, you know, this place, and try and ignore the flaws and just have hope that, you know, you can make it work. And I like how they kind of related this hatred she kind of has of constantly moving with when she was with the vultures. I really enjoyed that kind of callback. That was really nice. And how they kind of related June to that as well, because she always used to run away from things. That was all really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. And obviously both June and Charlie saw the fall of the stadium in season 4, so they kind of know how bad things can go. So of course you can kind of understand why June was so adamant that this wasn't the place as well, because she even thought the stadium was going to fall at some point, and she was right about that. I almost always forget that June actually had those interactions with like Madison and stuff in season 4. It just seems so crazy how separate that kind of feels now. So yeah, I enjoyed that kind of aspect of it, with those different characters relating to like the idea of faith, or, you know, the idea of always running and always having a life on the road and never really settling down anywhere. I really enjoyed that, and how even Dwight kind of related to that too when he was talking about the walkers with Sarah, and the fact that they're always on the road and they're always kind of always running, walking slowly, the opposite of running basically in every way, but they're just always on the move and always, I liked how they kind of related that to the walkers as well, that kind of idea of always running. I liked that quite a bit. And yeah, John and June, just a couple goals. I love them. I like their interactions. I liked John and his interactions with Jacob earlier on. There's a lot of characters beginning with J in this episode. So yeah, I really enjoyed their presence as always. I do think I could have done with less of just watching them climb loads of different ladders. I think that went on a bit too long before things actually got fucked up with that, but still, it was okay. I always enjoy those two characters anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, the idea of holding on to faith was cool. And then I loved the pairing of Dwight and Sarah. I really loved that quite a bit. Sarah is one of my favourites, and I think she's hideously underused. As is Wendell. Like, have we even seen Wendell this half of the season so far? Maybe barely, but he definitely hasn't had much of a presence. I mean, the whole season he hasn't really had much of a presence, but particularly the second half, like, bring him back. Come on, where is he? I know he's like with the kids and stuff, but come on. So yeah, I really love Sarah. I think she's so funny, but you can tell she has such a big heart as well. And I could just listen to her and Dwight have like conversations about random shit all day, and I just eat it all up. I think it was, the actress is just so good. I think it also helps that I saw her in Parks and Recreation, and that character was kind of so like outlandish and over the top and stuff. So when you see her play a character like Sarah, it just shows what a great actress she is, first of all. But Sarah's kind of so underplayed in comparison to Parks and Rec, because obviously that's more of an outlandish show. I think that makes me appreciate Sarah all the more, having that kind of comparison with the actress. So yeah, I love that pairing so much. I think they could be like really cool as like a duo, really great friends. And I'd love to see them explore that relationship between those two a lot more. I think that'd be really cool. And seeing Sarah and Jacob kind of interact as well, both being Jewish. We learned a bit more about Sarah in this episode. That was really, really cool. And she always has really funny lines. So that was really great as well. And then we also had the whole thing with them being followed by Logan's people, and I think, did they find the oil at the end where it's being held? Is that what they're going to break into that place for with Logan? I don't know. Don't really care. I'm just so done with Logan's shit. And clearly the show doesn't really know what to do with him exactly, but still feels obligated to put me in every single episode, because he's in an episode like all the time for like a minute at the very end of every episode. Like, they don't give him much substantial stuff to work with, which definitely doesn't help in my dislike of the character, and the fact that they've kind of outright refused to develop him more as a character. That might make him an interesting villain that way, but never mind. Shit's going down with them, because it always is. I want them all dead, to be honest. We definitely have had better villains in the past on Fear. But yeah, still, overall, I actually really, really enjoyed this episode. I love the inclusion of Jacob and that whole kind of setup. I thought he was a great new character. I hope we get to learn a lot more about him. I thought Charlie's story and relating that to like June and even the Walkers themselves was done very, very well. And Dwight and Sarah, an iconic duo. I love that pairing so much, and I didn't even know I needed it until this episode. So yeah, really good. Very enjoyable episode, and I think we have 4 episodes left of the season now, so I'm intrigued as to where they're going to take it, but I do think we need something like really big and crazy and shocking to happen, and they also need to remember that Luciano is a character in this show, and that Wendell is a character in this show. That would be really, really handy. But yeah, overall I actually really liked this episode, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the rest of the season. But until my next reaction, thanks for watching.